I was just thinking back a little bit of what I can do. Not that I necessarily look back, because that's not necessarily what's good for you, but at the same time, I think it's very important to realize that type of leadership that's embodied in what it means to just make a sound of what you blitz. And, what kind of blitz does it mean when you can lead a whole set of group with just coming from me? And that's pretty interesting. It might seem funny though, but I've, made a sound that can make people's hearts overflow with many different types of sounds and ideas and thought forms of what it means to open up that internal doubtlessness within that whole art form of what I've already manifested and what I thought I could be when I said what happens when I play this instrument to set people free, which wasn't necessarily what I had in mind, but it was at the same time an exponential process of what I've always wanted, because I thought, well, let's just make a chance to make this change. But that's a pretty slow way to change the game. Because that was already something just not out of the blue. It's not out of the blue because it was kind of what I started when I thought of, hey, maybe this is one very good aspect of just one simple way to perhaps, highlight the colors of what I did previously in that day. But even then, I was well beyond the stars in my own almighty will when I thought I could be better than, 2-3 grades ahead of me, and yet still I was more focused than I should have been at that time. Because I wasn't really thinking about being a brilliant musician in my mind. I was really only thinking about how awesome it is to be playing this music and be good as the other kids. That was pretty awesome to me. And then I got better. And then I realized, well, what's after? If I'm already able to play the hardest song from the advanced band, then an advanced band stand of the stand what I've already stood to stand. And to stand beyond the creatability of the solo form of what I thought I could do is already what I've transpired, it's beyond what I already knew I could do. Well before I was at the stage where my voice wouldn't crack. But that was a different time. And it was quite a weird way to live. Because it was, at the same time, it was without a lack, it was a kind of strong time, a weird time at that. But at the same time, it was still worth it. And I still was able to make great songs, do great shows, and make great performances. And it was weird just doing it solo. It was like, wow, I'm really good at this. And then it was like, hey, I really want a challenge. So I took up what I thought was the hardest instrument, and what I was told was the hardest instrument, and I took the challenge, and I made a balance through what I thought I could do. And I took that instrument and I made a strum too. At that time was a very interesting thing. I was really interested and focused on what I can do with what I can be if I were to lead by example at a time where I've really never done it before per se. I was told, this is what was needed. You can borrow this, and then perhaps you can be really good at that instrument, which I thought was a fantastic thing, and it was super hard at first. And I actually started with the mute, which is the opposite of what you think you do. But I did that for months and months and months on end, and after that, well, my whole mouth morphed into something else again. Because I started from listening to what I thought was lame. I mean, that was absolutely unexciting, especially after hearing it for the second time again. And over and over and over, I'd hear that, and it'd just be like, I know it's good, but it's not what I am. But it is what I am because it's a part of me and it's what I learned. And I did play those shows when I was older, a little bit older. I was. Oh, it's weird that I'm reminiscing, but it's still so true that I can play this instrument at the same time and still be better than me, who I already knew was better than the aspect of what I knew I could do, which is one aspect of my infinitial, multi-creational, listicle ability within you, which is within all. I mean, everything that's surrounding me, because I'm already gone to the moon and back, and then the stars, which are already within me. And there's 20 trillion, which are trillion ways to go, and match and shake and stake, and then make it out again for more dough, which is tastier than it really sounds like. But it's weird that I eat it just like at night. Like that's what I eat, and sometimes I eat it in the morning. It's like, wow, I never thought about it being edible. Anyway, yeah, it changed the world. I grew up a lot of people from the spirit of my sound. And it's so interesting when you can, conduct and play at the same time. And that's, just one of the natural arts of what it means to be an art form. And that's an art form in action of the actional potential of what can be more. And that's already known by that who's the by that who's the creator, the manifested form of that was already known, which is like a score for. Which is a score for the song that's that which is unknown. Because it's not unknown, I've known it all the time. I've always been conscious of what I can do with my mind. And it wasn't... And I can just describe from what it means to play an instrument. Just our minds are grand enough to be sentience. It's weird how I thought this just not too long ago. Able to make a lot of change just from 24 hours ago. But once again, it's weird, but it's true. It's very... Very passionate lifestyle, thinking and living about you. Because it's one sort of reflection that does indeed happen, and it is true. But at the same time, it's a known in nature that we knew was beyond what we can already know, what was already beyond what we could do. So, what that means is just, once again, been around the sun 3 trillion times, which is already not enough to do half of what I half thought I could do in a fractional form of what was able and capable in just 30 minutes of an afternoon. But I should probably do this more often because it's kind of expiring and perspiring. But it's good for appropriate reception, because it does happen a lot. And even if it was changed and mattered, it wouldn't matter a lot, because it does matter a lot to those like me, of course, which is really just me, in me form of what I can be. And I actually really do care about other people, and I really do, share, and I really do, at the same time, mind when, things aren't fair when it comes to certain aspects, just like, well, I think I've already been there, but at the same time it doesn't necessarily matter because it's still ascension in the air, land, water, sand, and from what I grew from down there, which is even upside down from my spiritual abilities, which are constantly aware. So I guess what's really important is not necessarily what doesn't fill us with doubt, but the fact that there's already no doubt in what we already think we can think about. I mean, think about it. I've already inspired like billions by now. So what does it mean when I already just move on to the next town, which is probably already a galactic society waiting to happen? So I'm just gonna build up my stats then, which have already been done. When I think about that, what if I didn't record everything that I thought mattered by then? Because I don't do that, to be honest. Or at least when I played flute. But that was a long time ago. But I still have the papers to prove all that music. It's in that actual folder. Oh my goodness. I still have those memories there. So I can still have that to prove this. I mean, I used to, kind of mentor other instruments that I didn't know how to play. But I don't know. I just lead on in my own special way. Which is pretty cool enough to say that I can already be what I've claimed to be. And I've already have a long way to go because, it's only one part of clarity. So, a lot to do, a lot to make, and I'm going to hopefully be more patient about the patience I have. Patience. Because I gotta go a little bit faster, and we already know, because I'm slow enough to slow down the fastest slow to roll, which is slow enough to be faster than the fastest one to go, but the slowest one to go is faster than I already made my roll plain and clear to see, because it's my role that I play out, which is played out in the minds of minds that think what they played out, which I think with is outdone, which is not outdone, which is not doubt, of that which is doubtlessness in the home that built this house. Because if my heart was a house, you'd be home. Holy cow, I just did that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool right there. I just did that. Alright, well, this is your host, I don't know what to call it. I guess I'll just call it musician. It's weird because I never thought of it being like that, but now it's a weird epiphany. Anyway, there's nothing weird about it. It's totally normal, and it's totally what I am, who I am. And it's just, I never thought I'd be good at it. I mean, I never thought I'd be good at it, but I never not thought that I could never not do it. Because I never not thought that I couldn't reach that high note. So I just power through. So, this is your host, or this is just me, Christopher Bowen, really just creating some more. Lots of universal potential. I'm just going to do what I want to do. A little bit more, a little bit faster. And it's going to be a lot of, once again, like peaceful creations of, and paradisical creations and kind of built-in functions of what I've already done. From what I was able to do in the last score. These are like scores. I knew that, though. I mean, full of earth-shaped. But then again, that was a while ago. Interesting. So I'm going to do that a little bit more. Just because. And just to get more into the habit of doing it. I'll probably just end up, walking by, but I might do some interesting things here and there, so don't be surprised about not being surprised. Because I'm going to do more episodes, or more broadcasts if I have liberty, which are pretty interesting broadcasts. But that's ultimately what we do, and of course, if anything, it should be known by now, even though I'm super transcendental and, ultra light years ahead. I'm still trying to be, at least, at some point, at points, down to earth, as incredibly quick that might be. Anyway, So I do want to, of course, reiterate the positivity in this manifestal creational listicle creation. There's going to be a lot more stuff going on, which I've already said a lot of. And so I just, I break it down. I can slow it down, and I do that a lot. I mean, I have to. I mean, it's not like I have to, but I have to. So I do, and so I hope that makes sense. Well, it's well beyond hope. I'm creating it already next level. Anyway, live well.